A Shalom, Kohala, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Hakodash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to brothers in the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord willing, we are found in that number. All right. So it's going to be a quick lesson on, what's been going down, in the media and within the so-called, the military world and the things of that nature of the last past couple days and what's been noised abroad. Okay. And for the fact that, this whole, I'll say, for lack of a better word, this whole, pestilence, if you will, that's been going on, it's all by the hand of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay. We need, people need to understand that. We can pose it as, some bullshit, but it's some bullshit that's being put in play by the Lord. Okay. And he's using Esau to do it. All right. So let me get this right here. Isaiah 24:16. It says, from the outermost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me. The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yea, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Okay? Now, Esau is known as that treacherous dealer right now. Because everything that's coming down the pipe is nothing sweet, man. Esau, he has his hand in every part of the world right now doing wickedness. And more so here in this country. The shit that's about to go down with these so-called door-to-door, inoculations. This shit is about to get real heavy out here. So when you ask yourself, could this possibly be? Would he do something like that? You best believe that he's going to do it, man. And he's going to use that military to do so. And that's the talk and the chatter that you've been hearing lately. You ain't going to have your neighborhood pharmacist come showing up at your door talking about, hello, good afternoon, how are you? No. You're going to have the United States military going from door to door talking about you going to take this shit or you're going to get hauled off. All right? So let me right here.
To do one thing, I'd make sure that there were more textbooks in schools. I'm a teacher. I've seen the needs. But my girlfriend here likes to say,
don't just talk about it, be about it.
And we're about the 2020 census.
Because when everyone gets counted on the census, it helps inform public funding in our neighborhood for the next 10 years.
So don't just talk about it.
Be about it.
Complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
All right. So you heard what she said. It helps create funding for your neighborhoods for the next 10 years, which is bullshit. Okay? Which is pure and utter bullshit. Now here you have, these jakes, all concerned or all, promoting the census, which in actuality was nothing but a count to prepare the military to move in when it came time to distribute this so-called, vaccination. That's all that was, man. They got a head count. And they've been doing it for years, man. They've been doing this shit for years. You ask yourself, right? If it was all about counting to fund your community, right? Well, let's take a look at some of the communities that you ask yourself, well, where was the funding? Where's the funding for these communities?
I've seen a lot of America so far. I haven't been to every corner of this fine country, but I've seen the highlights, or most of them. It's quite a great place, the United States is, for the most part. But there are some really terrible areas in this nation, as we all know. And you people of YouTube want to see them. It's pretty clear. Whenever I upload a nice peaceful drive through a nice part of the country, the clicks are, But when I drive through a bad neighborhood, people on YouTube are like, I want to see that. Why is that?
I'll tell you why it is. because they look at our people as a goddamn freak show or a bunch of animals in cages, man. You know, when Esau goes to the zoo, they sitting there and look at the monkeys and the apes and shit, and they throw bread and all kinds of shit. That's how they see and view us, man. You know, but once again, the whole question is, all these censuses that have been taken over the past 20 years, well, where's the money for these neighborhoods, man? Where's the funding for these neighborhoods? Now, all of a sudden, they're concerned about the urban neighborhoods. They're concerned about the black neighborhood and the so-called Puerto Rican neighborhood. It has nothing to do with, you know, whether or not they're going to pave your roads and, you know, put new shopping centers in your area. They don't give a goddamn about that. They're trying to get a hold of your ass so they can, when they come through door to door, they got exactly the amount of doses. They know who's in the house. They know how many people's living in the house. You see? This devil, man. Let me play a little more of this.
Why do we all want to see rundown, poor neighborhoods? In this video, I'm going to run through the worst ghetto hoods I've ever visited. These are all places that are run down and neglected. The crime is really high and where people are poor. Now, in my opinion, the worst hoods are all in the Northeast. Sure, the West Coast has rundown areas, but the West Coast is much more new, so the hoods don't have that gritty, grimy, rundown look. Midwest hoods look pretty bad, and Southern hoods have large areas where there are clearly a lot of issues too, but it's the Northeast where things look the worst. We'll see that shortly. But enough of all the intro stuff, let's get down to it. These are the worst hoods I've ever seen, and some of the worst ghettos in the USA. We're going to begin in the South, in the worst neighborhood in it.
All right, so you get the gist of what the situation is here. All right, all this census talk about building up your neighborhood and, you know, funding for the fiscal year, that's all smoke and mirrors, man. These devils are lining things up. So when they start going door to door, they know who's there and what's there, how many people, what type of people, you know, because it's primarily geared to track the nation of Israel. You so-called blacks, Native Americans, and so-called Puerto Ricans. That's what that census is truly for, man. Tracking every one of you and who you are, how many kids you brought into this world, you know. Let me get this right quick. This is the definition of census. It says an official count or survey of a population, typically recording various details of individuals. You know, that's the point. Typically recording various details of individuals. You know, that says it all right there. Now, a couple years back when I lived in a different location, this demon, Edomite, kept coming to my door during the census time. And I'm talking, this demon, she had to come back to my place like 4 times. And I'm out the window talking about, yo, get out of here. I don't want nothing to do with you. And she's trying to persuade me to talk to her and, you know, to engage just so she can do her job and her job depends on it. And I said, listen, don't try to guilt me into keeping your fucking job. But when she walked away, she walked by several homes, man. She walked by several apartments where, you know, there was people living in, but she didn't knock on them doors. It was primarily Edomites living in these apartments, but she didn't knock on those doors. But that demon kept coming back to my door, man. And they're very persistent and they're a goddamn nuisance. But their job must be done. And what's that? To count the number of the children of Israel. Okay? Which in actuality isn't supposed to be done. You're not supposed to number the children of Israel. But this devil's working on the left-hand side, so therefore he's going to do whatever the hell he wants. You know? All right, so going back. Let me hit this last clip here. Just check it out. Just look at the people.
To whom it may concern, due to the lack of funding, we are unable to purchase school books for students.
We will no longer be offering school lunch programs.
No funding for school supplies?
We are unable to make necessary building repairs.
To whom it may concern.
Whom can make concern?
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern, the census is hiring hundreds of workers in your area to help get the funding needed for schools in your community. Apply now at 2020census.gov/jobs.
You see, all Jakes, all right, and to whom it may concern. They don't give a goddamn about you, man. They don't give shit about us. You know, we've been on this planet, or in this nation, I should say, for 400, 500 years, working our fingers to the goddamn bone, and they don't even throw us a bone. You know? You still got Jakes who are 65, 70 years old, fucking still having to grind their back down to the cartilage, you know, by working just to keep a roof over their head, man. Talking about some goddamn sense is gonna, you know, uplift your community. You saw a real devil, man. And you people gonna get it through your thick head. You're gonna realize he's the devil when all this shit starts popping off, man. You're gonna see who you're dealing with. Okay? You're dealing with the treacherous dealer. That's who you're dealing with. And this man is very treacherous. Okay? Now just to back up. Now this is during the Trump era, but it's all the same sentiment. It passes right through to every administration, how they do certain things, such as what's going on here. You know? But listen to how he breaks this down.
The issue that has come up is once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly to millions?
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers, and they do lots of other things that, frankly, are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically, he's all set. Tony, do you want to say something about that?
That is correct. As the vaccine rolls out, we'll be getting them distributed. And as you probably have heard, we are going to make sure that we do it in an equitable way, and it's representative of the populations who need it the most.
Right, the populations who need it the most. And who is that? They've been talking this whole hellish bullshit about the so-called the black minorities are the ones who are infected the worst, and they need it the most. All right? So that time is coming, man. The time of Jacob's trouble is coming. Where these men, where these devils are going to just go berserk, man. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 17. It says, 71, Shalakia. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none. Okay? And when you talk about, you know, the military going door to door, they're not going to sit there and take no for an answer. Okay? There's going to be one or two results. Either you take the vaccination or they're hauling your ass out of there, man. All right? They ain't taking no for an answer. This is going to be the United States military. Like I said, if it was your family neighborhood, you know, pharmacist coming down the road, you know, you can debate with him. You can tell him to get the hell out of here and slam the door in his face. But when it's the United States military coming down the road, they're coming in with full force, man. Guns drawn and the whole shit. And they're going to haul you off. They're going to haul you Jakes off, man. They're going to bring you to some concentration camp, some FEMA camp. And these things are being put up and made throughout the country already, man. Building these damn camps at an alarming rate. Barbed wire turned on inside so you can't climb up on the fence. You know, 20-foot, 30-foot high chain link fence. This shit is going to happen, man. This shit is going to happen. And this is why we of the Hopeful Elect, we don't really give a damn what this devil does. We trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And by trusting in the Lord, you know, we put our fears aside for this man and wait upon the Lord. So you people are sleeping out here, man. You people who are going to get caught out there sleeping, you're going to take that goddamn shot. The military's going to bust you over your head. And then even then, they may bust you over the head, stick you with the shot, and still put you in the goddamn camp, man. And to bring you to your death. Because who's keeping track? Nobody. Nobody's going to be held accountable whether or not a so-called black man was murdered by the United States military. This is what they do, man. It says they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. All right? So if you think for 1 minute that because you fear the Lord, Esau is going to be like, no, don't mess with them. They don't give a damn, man. And when the rubber meets the road, they're going to be looking specifically men who fear the Lord to get you out of here. All right? We go on. This is another article. This is Fox News. White House defends door-to-door vaccination push amid backlash. Right. You see, when you have when there's nothing in play or in place that people really have to abide by, you're gonna get backlash. You're gonna get people talking shit. You're gonna get people talking about their civil rights and their amendments. You're gonna get that, man. But once them executive orders come into play, all that shit is out the window. And you can scream and holler all you want about my rights, my rights, my rights, but they're still gonna bust your shit and drag and haul you off, man. All right, let me play a little bit of this clip.
Americans vaccinated against COVID launching an effort to go door to door to get shots in arms. After falling short of his 70% goal by the 4th of July, the new push to literally knock on doors, sparking widespread backlash. Molly Hemingway, senior editor of The Federalist and a Fox News contributor. Molly, how you doing? Good morning to you. What do you think about the door-to-door campaign? Will that work?
I'm not sure if such a program actually exists or if President Biden was confused. If the problem with vaccine acceptance is that people are fearful of the government or they don't trust the government, obviously.
Now, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have shit to do with Joe Biden per se. All right? Because Donald Trump had already made it crystal clear. The military is already in place. What are they in place for? To go door to door. All right? Now, once again, these news outlets and these news medias and the social media, they always try to, downplay shit. All right? But these devils are well aware of the next steps that they're going to take. All right?
Going to door by government agents is not the way to handle it. But more importantly, vaccination rates among the vulnerable populations, older people and people with comorbidities, is really high. And so President Biden needs to just take the win. I know he missed his own personal goal for vaccination rates, but we've done a good job and he should just accept that and keep going forward.
We can still get there. We'll probably get there pretty soon, actually. In the meantime, Keystone no, OPEC yes, apparently. Here's how the Wall Street Journal, right? Gas prices are up, right? I mean, 7 or 8 years we haven't seen them this high.
All right, so that's it, man. That's what's going to be going down. All right. So the census report gives the government the insight as to who's in the home, how many people live there, the ages of the people. So when the military comes around, they're going to have their military with their census paperwork all in the database. It's all recorded. It's all recorded. It's all downloaded into the database. They're probably gonna have laptops walking around. All right, we're gonna go to 364th and say, you got 12 people in there, 6 children, blah blah blah. Come on out. All right. You people may look at us as some conspiracy theorist nuts, but as each passing and each waking day goes by, you're realizing that this shit is coming to pass, man. You're realizing the things that we have been speaking of from the head apostles on down has actually been coming to pass. All right. So now you're running out of options. You're running out of options and you're running out of excuses. You see? What else we got here? That one, nigga. This is Psalms 83:2. It says, "For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head." Okay? Who are the most hated people on the planet Earth, man? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, who we are. We're the most hated people on the earth. Even though they want to be like us, they want to sound like us, they want to dress like us, they want to play sports like us, they want to be all about us. But at the same time, it's that jealousy and that rage that builds up inside of them, that enmity that was put in them since the beginning of the birth in the womb, man. They can't let that go. That was embedded inside of them. The Lord made that happen. Okay? Because this movie of Jacob and Esau has to play out, man. It has to play out. The good and the bad. The good versus the bad. Has to play out. So therefore, that enmity, that hatred, that disdain has to be in these people. And half these devils don't know what's in there. They think they're so kind and compassionate and so, loving and caring. But when that shit starts to pop off, man, you're going to see these devils switch up like Jekyll and Hyde. They're going to switch the hell up just like Jekyll and Hyde. All right? So I believe that's it. I'm going to end it right there. All right? But just keep in mind, man, as I stated at the outset of this lesson, the census was triggering what's going to be the key factor and the trigger when these door-to-doors start happening. Because that's how they know who's in the home. That's how they know, man. By that census report. That's why they was pushing it so goddamn hard in the minority neighborhoods. Because they're the ones who are supposed to be on the front line receiving the vaccines, because all the squawk through the years that they've never had any opportunity to be the first ones. And then you have those simple ass jakes out there doing the devil's bidding, trying to, gear people up to get this shit, man. But anyway, be that as it may, the time of Jacob's trouble is well at hand, and if you on the fence, or if you playing both sides of the tracks, you better examine yourself and get your mind right, repent, come back to the Lord, ask for mercy, because once again, when all hell breaks loose and you ain't turned yourself around and got on the right track, you will have no defender. With that, I'm going to say all praises due to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I say Shalom.